Hi, I want to welcome you to this year's local elections candidate forum here at Heights Baptist Church. I want to thank you for taking the time to make sure you are as educated as you can be for this year's upcoming local elections. Do make sure that you get out and make sure that your voice is heard. So thank you so much for joining us on behalf of the Board of Directors for the Northern Brazoria County Chamber of Commerce, where we serve businesses in Alvin, Manville, and Iowa Colony. What we do as an organization is we try to think what is the best way to keep local dollars here to make these communities as prosperous for everyone who lives here as possible. So you being engaged in local elections is a direct result of that kind of work that our chamber and our members have done for decades. My name is Carrie Perrin. I'm the president and CEO of the Northern Brazoria County Chamber. And again, we want to thank you for tuning in to this video. I want to thank Heights Baptist Church for providing this space, for providing this camera equipment and this audio equipment so that you can, again, be the most educated voter you can be. I want to also thank the candidates that are able to make the time to do this with us today. And there's going to be a few that aren't on stage with us, but have taken the time out of their schedule to come sit down with us individually so that we can hear what they have to say as well. All of our candidates has made it clear to me to pass on to you that if you have any questions that we didn't ask here tonight or want better clarity of questions answered for you, all of our candidates can be found on social media platforms. Would love to talk to you directly. So please do yourself a favor and make sure you talk to them directly before you go to the polls. I also want to thank my staff, volunteers, Heights Baptist Church's staff. Remember, if you're looking for a local church in town, go to heightschurch.org and see other ways that they support our local community and our community members. I also want to thank my Governmental Relations Committee. All these folks, tons of folks in this area, have worked together and done lots of things just to make this information available to you. So thank you again for taking the time to watch. Speaking of our Governmental Relations Committee, it is chaired by Carolynn Waites. She is the director of the Alvin Public Library. She is going to be our moderator tonight. And so I want to thank her as well for taking the time to ask all these great questions to all these great candidates. Thank you again, and remember to eat, shop, play, and support local businesses in your area.
This is an infomercial / public service announcement for the residents of the Iowa Colony extraterritorial jurisdiction. Now, just to put a face on it and a name to it, so to say, if you live in Sierra Vista, if you live in Sierra Vista West, if you live in the areas outside of the city limits of Iowa Colony, you are in the Iowa Colony ETJ, or extraterritorial jurisdiction. On your upcoming May 3rd ballot, you're going to have an opportunity to vote in favor or against a sales and use tax. Now, that sales and use tax is to support the Iowa Colony Municipal Development District. Mr. Varlek, can you tell us about what that is?
Well, I certainly would. So a municipal development district is a development district that's going to allow us to capture sales tax, 0.5 cent of sales tax out of the ETJ. Now, for the communities that you just mentioned, those communities are scheduled to be annexed into our city very shortly. And so the city is required to provide services to those communities. The challenge is that everyone is competing for this 0.5 cent of sales tax. And if we don't get that sales tax, then the city is going to be forced to provide services without the level of revenue that we need in order to execute. So this is really a vote for your future. If you're in the ETJ and you see the Iowa Colony MDD Prop A, this is an opportunity for you to capture your own sales tax for your future services.
That is a very great and awesome point. Capture your local tax dollars for your local community. Thank you for your time. Talk more with you later.
Please get out and vote May 3rd.
Good evening. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Destiny Washington, and I will be honored to serve as your District A City Council member. I've been a proud resident of Iowa Colony for nearly 9 years. I'm a Christian and an active member of Crossing Point Christian Church, where I serve as both the youth and the sisters ministry. I'm also a wife of 14 years, a mom, a community advocate, and a dedicated volunteer and a small business owner. My son graduated from Manville High School and now serves in the United States Navy. I also have 3 daughters who attend Bell Sanchez Elementary School and Iowa Colony Junior High. I serve as the PTO president at Bell Sanchez and the fundraiser chair at the junior high. I'm also the troop leader for a local Girl Scout troop. Community isn't just something that I do. It's who I am. I'm committed to serving our city and every neighborhood within it with integrity, transparency, and compassion.
Thank you. Tim?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tim Varlak. I am currently the council member for District A for the city of Iowa Colony. I have lived in the Sterling Lakes community now for just over 12 years. I have served in Iowa Colony on the Planning and Zoning Committee for 6 years. Before that, I served as part of the Charter Committee as well as the Districting Committee. I am the husband of a lovely wife and Carla of 27 years. My son went to Manville High School and is currently serving as part of our volunteer fire department here in Iowa Colony. As I look out at this fantastic audience that's gathered here and all of you who are taking a moment to tune into what is happening here, I'd like you to understand that for Tim Varlak, there are really 3 principles about what we need to do in our city. The first one is that we need to manage our exponential growth in a way that delivers the right services to all of our community. The second thing is that we need to invest in our people so that the quality of those services matches the level of our expectations. And then lastly, we need to bring our community together. Even though we have different positions and different districts, every decision that we make needs to be for the long-term health of all of the citizens of Iowa Colony. So I'm Tim Varlak. I'm asking for your vote to re-elect me so that we continue the good work that we've begun on City Council here in the city of Iowa Colony. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Douglas.
Hello, my name is Douglas Chumley. I moved to Iowa Colony in 2015. My work history includes I have been a licensed funeral director and embalmer. I've been an escrow officer. I'm currently an enrolled agent. I have a small business. My licensure includes I'm a real estate broker. I have a general lines insurance agent, as well as health, auto, and life. My wife is Sarah Dixon. I have 3 children, Marshall, McKinley, and Millie. They all attend Bell Sanchez Elementary School. I am currently the chair of the District Committee of the City of Iowa Colony. I am the PTO treasurer of Bell Sanchez. I am the vice president of the Brazoria County MUD 31. I am currently Sterling Lakes POA president. As far as my education, I have a marketing degree. I have an MBA in business. My thoughts for Iowa Colony is I feel that we keep talking about our future. I don't believe we address our current issues that are before us right now. I think we use our future growth and our rapid growth as a scapegoat to address what is currently at hand. And I, as mayor, would want to address the issues and challenges that we face from rural Iowa Colony, who we tax but provide no services. Sterling Lakes, which is where I reside, is a gated community. We provide no services. We haven't attempted to provide services. We accept no as an answer. I think we should deep dive into that, and we would do that immediately on day 1. I thank you for your time. I look forward for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Will?
Thank you, Northern Brazoria County Chamber of Commerce, for hosting this event this evening. I want to thank you, the attendees, for being present here and taking time out of your schedules to attend to this civic duty. I want to thank my fellow candidates that are here this evening for putting yourselves out there. We all live in Iowa Colony. We're all committed to doing the best for Iowa Colony. And I want to thank you all for putting yourselves out there. Only one person will win each and every one of these races. But Iowa Colony needs each and every one of us to continue our commitment and our willingness to serve to make it the best city that it can be, not only in Brazoria County, but through all of Texas and the world. So regardless of the outcomes of the race, I look forward to working with you all in whatever capacity the outcomes may present, to make sure that we do all that we can to continue to grow our colony forward. Now, I am the proud husband of Andrea Hardaway Kennedy, the proud father of Willie and Amos Kennedy. They're both sophomores at Iowa Colony High School. My dad, God rest his soul, worked in the shipyard in South Mississippi. My mom was an educator of 32 years. What I offer to you is laser-focused, level-headed leadership that is about growing Iowa Colony forward, about building collaborations and relationships, because it's all in us working together that we move our community forward. There's an adage that talks about if you want to go far or do you want to go fast? My aim for our community of Iowa Colony is for us to go far. Now, mind you, you can't have birthing, okay? You cannot have birthing without some pain. Growing pains are a part of that birthing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Matthew.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for attending. My name is Matthew Eisenberg, and I am running for City Council Position 1 for Iowa Colony, like all of us over here. Oh, I had a small brain fart. Excuse me, everyone. The main things I am currently running on are going to be developer accountability, because we have a lot of developers coming into our area, kind of building willy-nilly. I'm seeing homes that have been in the area less than 10 years that have mold in attics and air just being let through. We're seeing homes that are being built right now that have bad studs, or the inspections just aren't happening quick enough. And that's currently just because we don't have enough manpower to do and keep up with the growth that we currently have. So my main goal would be to give us that manpower. Currently, I think our city inspector Albert said there's roughly 2,000 inspections a month that we are currently doing with roughly this many people. It's impossible. So definitely things are going to slip through the cracks. Me and my wife, Sarah, thank you for attending. Appreciate the support. Are going to be here for a very, very long time, and we want to make sure that anything that is built here, that is made here, that is serviced here, that is here in general in any aspect, is going to last a long, long time. Thank y'all very much. Look forward to y'all's vote.
Thank you. Nikki.
Okay, my name is Nikki Brooks. I am running for the Iowa Colony City Council Position 1 at large. So everybody repeat after me and just say, just 1 year. Just 1 year. Help me get a little participation here. One more time, just 1 year. All right, so I've never run for an office before. I have been heavily involved in the political process. I typically like to stay in a place, and this has been from my childhood, as a political advocate, as a person who advises. I'm someone that people typically come to and ask for endorsements. I don't give endorsements. I tell the truth. I give concise facts. I give people what they need to be objective. But I've never run for office until now, but why this race and why this year? 3 reasons. It's the trifecta of a perfect storm for me. Number one, it's a 1-year term that's open. And I, like most of the people that are business owners, am highly allergic to working for free 99. So being 1 year is a perfect time for me to come in and provide some process improvement, bring some collaboration, and help make it better than when I came. The second thing is my youngest is graduating, so I'll be empty nesting. She's going to be graduating. It's my 3rd child. And so we're going to have a little more bandwidth as a family. And then the third thing is that Iowa Colony, in my opinion, we have very good, strong leadership that has been collaborative, but we just need to add a couple of more components to the team that I feel I could bring in for just 1 year and help bring some process improvement. My work professionally is organizational development and change management. I come into complex systems, I decode them, diagnose what's working, what's not. I help teams collaborate, and I help them improve. And so what I want to bring to our city and the city council is process improvement that will benefit us all. The 3 things I'm running on: communication, collaboration, and community. And that's it.
Thank you. Steve.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Sanders, and I'm running for at-large Position 1 here in Iowa Colony. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, a longshoreman, a father of 3, and someone who believes in hard work, fairness, and the power of community. Our colony is growing rapidly, and while that brings opportunity, it also brings responsibility. We must ensure that growth benefits everyone, not just those in new developments, but our longtime rural residents as well. We all pay taxes, and we all deserve access to services, safety, and a say in how our city moves forward. My campaign is built around 3 simple words: family, community, and country. That means standing up for working families, listening to everyone in every neighborhood, and putting people before politics. I'm not running to make noise, I'm running to make a difference. Thank you for your opportunity to be here tonight.
Thank you very much. Now we will start with our questions. As I said before, we're going to start at table 1. Tim, I will have you lead off this one. The first question is, Iowa Colony is experiencing exciting and rapid growth. What plans would you put in place now to proactively manage development and infrastructure demands before they become critical?
Well, thank you for your question. One of the things that we already have in place and that we need to enforce is we have a comprehensive plan. We also have a plan of development that we hold each developer to. As we work together to work our comprehensive plan to ensure that our developers are providing the types of services and the types of development that the citizens actually voted for and asked for, we also then need to hold them accountable to make sure that they actually deliver on the timetables that they said they would. The other thing that we need to do is we need to invest in our city staff. That means that we also need to hire a new city manager. We also need to move forward with plans to get a full-time city planner. Having that city planner position in place will allow us to take a strategic view of not only the issues that we're dealing with now, but also to make sure that the decisions we make have the long-term effect that provide the correct type of environment going forward.
Thank you. Destiny?
I feel that we need communication. We must maintain an open and transparent lines of communication between the city, residents, and our dedicated community helpers. By continually assessing the needs of our city, we can ensure that we stay informed and responsive as we grow.
All right, thank you. Similar question. I'm going to go to the mayoral candidates. Start with you, Will. As mayor, what is your overall vision for guiding Iowa Colony's rapid growth, and how would you ensure responsible strategic development?
So as it relates to the question of my vision and Iowa Colony's growth, my overall vision for Iowa Colony and growing it forward is not only to be in close communication with the residents, but to make sure that we're also talking to the business community, seeing how we can assist them and what we can do with them to make it better and help them to grow their business in Iowa Colony and diversify our tax base. Now, in doing that, it's also very important and crucial to be in contact with the chamber. The chamber services the entire region and may have insights and perspectives that we don't necessarily have right there in Iowa Colony. So it goes back to that same thing of collaboration and cooperation, communication, talking with the chamber, talking with local business leaders, talking with residents about what we can do to make sure that we're filling the existing gaps and that being the focus of our pursuits. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Douglas, same question.
As I stated in my opening comments, I don't believe we've addressed the issues that are currently at hand. We focus in the future, and that's kind of a scapegoat and kind of gives us a free pass to continue to overlook what's currently at hand. If we face the issues or take care of what's currently happening in Iowa Colony, I think it'll set the cornerstones for our future. I believe over the last 4 years, we've been told to focus on the future and our rapid growth, and we have failed to address the current issues in Iowa Colony, as well as our ever-expanding city government. Many residents of Iowa Colony do not benefit by being in the city limits of Iowa Colony. Some residents are unaware that we do not even provide any city services to many residents of Iowa Colony. Possibly a drive-by of police protection, a 911 benefit, non-emergency calls for rural Iowa Colony. Sterling Lakes residents currently at this time do not receive city benefits, such as public works. We have not sought high-speed internet. As far as for rural
Sorry, we're out of time. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to go to table 3, infrastructure improvement. Steve, we're going to start with you. How would you prioritize and fund critical infrastructure such as roads, emergency services, and utilities to support Iowa Colony's current pace of growth?
Our roads, utilities, and emergency services must keep up. I'll support a long-term capital plan and make sure new development helps cover the cost. Rural areas especially can't be left behind anymore. We all pay taxes. We all deserve services.
Thank you. Nikki?
All right, well, the first thing about prioritizing and funding what's critical as far as our infrastructure is the first thing we need to understand and see what's urgent. So what's urgent, in my opinion, is number one, our water and sewage systems, followed by our safety and public welfare, and then followed by our actual transportation infrastructure. If you live in Sterling Lakes, you know the horror that it is to get down the driveway, to get down Meridian and Parkway on our side. And so I think prioritizing infrastructure first, assessing it, assessing the monies that we have, what we're spending on it. A second component of that, man, a minute is really not a lot of time. So the second component of that, though, is the Infrastructure Investment and Job Aids Act that is on the table in the United States. Right now, there's literally billions of dollars being fluxed into our state that is available for entities, but as an entity, we have to go apply for it. And so in Brazoria County, there is a very low level of awareness, and I think the city needs to basically have some efforts to tap into that stuff.
Matthew?
So according to our current city plan, there is still a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built, all the way from Highway 6 down to the new 99, which is going to come through here in the next few years, well, starting, right? And once that happens, we're going to pretty much be in a sandwich where Highway 6 and 99, everything between that's going to be up to us. But most of that's already going to be built by the developers at that point. So we need to keep these developers accountable, make sure that they're building the roads to high standards, everything from sidewalks to the sewer drains, everything really. I see them cutting corners on every aspect, and we need to hold them to it.
Thank you. Back to table 1. Destiny, you're going to go first on this one. How would you actively attract and support new businesses and job creators to Iowa Colony, particularly those offering higher paying jobs?
I think that if we offer various incentives such as training grants, tax abatements, utility discounts, or rebates in special tax districts to attract the type of businesses that we want to see in our community.
Thank you. Tim?
Well, I think that there's a couple of things we can do. The first thing that we can do is we can focus in on understanding that we do provide services to all of our community. In terms of bringing new businesses in, I'm very proud to have worked with the Chamber to bring Iowa Colony into the Chamber and to utilize the Chamber itself to work with additional businesses to help us not only identify the right mix of businesses to come into Iowa Colony, but to help those new businesses navigate what it means to work and live in Iowa Colony. And then as a city council, some of the things that we can do is we can have staff pursue the types of rebate agreements, tax abatements that would allow for development to occur in a way that provides the types of jobs that we're looking for. Ultimately, we have to go back to the citizens consistently to make sure that the types of businesses we are bringing in and attracting are the ones that they want.
Thank you. We're going to stick with economic development for the mayoral candidates. We will start with you today now, Douglas. What proactive steps would you take as mayor to attract new businesses and employers to Iowa Colony, fostering job growth and local economic stability?
We must make better decisions with taxpayer dollars than we've done previously and not act as if we're children for the first time in the candy store. We must research first, second, and third options, and we must show restraint, maturity, and patience in purchases as well as funding our projects going forward. Just because people are willing to loan us money doesn't mean that we ought to continue to go in debt. I believe the current vision of our city's growth is dependent on rooftops that currently do not exist, which puts us in a very unfavorable position with developers and/or retail coming into our community to demand higher standards when they know from a business standpoint we must have their product. If we just pump the brake and get in front of the demand of the get in front of the demand, their product, we will get to dictate our terms as opposed to being at their mercy for their product to meet our debt obligations due to our bloated city budget.
Thank you. Same question, Will.
In our colony, we're looking at economic development as a priority. One of the reasons why in the Iowa Colony Extraterritorial Jurisdiction, on your May 3rd ballot, you're going to have the Municipal Development District. It won't be on the City of Iowa Colony's ballot, but it will be in the extraterritorial jurisdiction because they are the ones where we have the opportunity to collect the sales tax and to invest that sales tax in civic centers, community centers, recreation centers, and other developments that foster growth and recreation in our Iowa colony. Now, beyond that, it's important to work with our local chamber. I can't stress that enough. In identifying them as a partner, they have collaborated with us and worked with us. It was the Alvin Manville Area Chamber. In the collaboration and cooperation, they've rebranded to the Northern Brazoria County Chamber of Commerce. That speaks to our efforts working now, working together, and collaborating. Thank you.
Thank you. I am going to go ahead and stick with economic development and ask the same question for table 3. We are going to start with Nikki. How would you actively attract and support new businesses and job creators to Iowa Colony, particularly those offering higher paying jobs?
All right, it's 5 things that are going to attract companies to a place. You see it with all the tech companies that have come to Austin, the oil and gas companies that have moved their headquarters to Spring. You got to have a strong infrastructure. The environment has to be business friendly. You got to be close to a major market. You got to offer a good quality of life that includes skills, that includes schools, and you got to have a skilled workforce. We have skilled workforces because we are predominantly white collar. With that being said, my superpower lies in the digital equity space. And because of that, again, having that very strong knowledge of this influx of monies that is coming down through the pipe, working closely with the chamber to make sure that those businesses have access to those monies and the process that is required to tap into those. This digital economy affects everything from your wire access to things like healthcare, telehealth, libraries, the city, the civic centers, everything we're talking about. That money right there is something that is really going to help our city, and that's how I would work with businesses to attract them.
All right, thank you. Matthew?
I would work with businesses to attract them here with, well, unfortunately, Brooks got it great, with sound infrastructure, right? We are the last area that needs to grow in Houston. There is nowhere else that needs to grow. Greater City Houston, if you're familiar with it, we got north, which is going to take you to Spring, the Woodlands, east, Channelview, etc., Stinkadina over there. We got west side, we got Katy, and then down here, right? Pearland, and then it's us. There is nowhere else to grow. We have a lot of power down here with the infrastructure that we still have and that is available to, well, not give to companies, but for them to pursue ideas and adventures down here. And really, we have a lot of that power because there is nowhere else to go. We are 45 minutes from Houston proper down here. You can't go much further. From the Woodlands up north, it's 45 minutes, right? If you go east, 45 minutes to an hour. West, same thing, Katy, there's literally nowhere else to expand to. So we're going to use that to our advantage in order to get great corporations down here that want to still be in the Houston market, and this is their last chance.
Thank you. Steve?
A vibrant local economy is key to a prosperous Iowa colony. By attracting high-quality businesses and nurturing local entrepreneurship, we can create jobs that align with our community values and ensure sustainable growth. My points are streamlined permitting, strategic location and utilization, market Iowa colony's proximity to major highways and economic hubs, prioritize businesses that offer sustainable, high-quality job opportunities, workforce development, collaborate with local educational institutions to build a skilled talent pipeline, offer incentives and support programs to stimulate local innovation and growth. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go back to table number 1. We're going to talk about community communication. So Tim, you will go first. How would you improve transparency and communication from City Council to citizens about current projects, financial decisions, and long-term plans?
Well, thank you for the question. I'm very proud to have pushed City Council to provide information packets online prior to City Council meetings to all of our citizens so that citizens can be informed about what City Council is going to be discussing prior to our meetings. I think that some of the things that we are already working on in council with regards to improving our communication with regards to how we reach out via social media, as well as ensuring that all of our documentation is uploaded and provided to citizens on a regular basis. The other thing that we do is we get out in the community and we meet. We had our MLK Day parade where we were out in the community talking to individuals or working with the community, our Veterans Day events where we actually sit and talk with people. So it's a mix of city services from the standpoint of providing a website and social media, but it's also us being available to our constituents to be able to make sure that they get what they need from us.
Thank you. Destiny?
Mine's about the same, just being involved and being present, and we can increase our presence by utilizing our existing social media pages and Nextdoor and our website, while also expanding our reputation throughout the representation throughout the community.
Thank you. All right, mayoral candidates. We're going to talk about fiscal responsibility. Will, the question will go to you first. As mayor, how would you lead the city council in maintaining low taxes while responsibly balancing the budget and meeting residents' expectations?
Yes, so on the subject of fiscal responsibility, this is already proven in our colony. We're in the bottom half of taxing cities here in the Brazoria County area. We have a modest tax rate that is supporting the growth of city services under very demanding circumstances, to say the very least. In just my first 2 years of serving as mayor, we substantially increased our city's financial reserves. Our rainy day fund is strong and getting stronger. That is important. Just last year, if you'll recall, we had to deal with Hurricane Beryl. And as a response and a result, there was a cleanup effort that's not in the city's budget. But having those reserves and having that rainy day fund left our city strong and financially able to respond to that need without having to go into the marketplace, without having to go to the bank. We had the resources right here in our colony. So that's just an example. Thank you.
Douglas?
We currently pay $1 million a year in debt service for our current city hall / police station, with talk and desire of many to build an additional building and call it City Hall, where the former City Hall / police department existed off of Iowa Colony Boulevard. We need to have a better relationship with the county. Iowa Colony sits in 2 precincts. We have county dollars that go unused every year. As far as we need to have a better relationship with the 2 county commissioners, as far as we need to begin that relationship, as far as by no other way than reintroducing ourselves to them and get them to assist us to help benefit with the county dollars and resources that are available that we continue to leave untapped. We have gotten too big for our britches. We need to take a step back and realize we're a small town learning the ropes in a very large county.
Thank you. Okay, now table 3. We're going to talk about business and city collaboration. Matthew, you're going to answer first. In what ways would you involve and leverage Iowa Colony's growing business community to assist in city initiatives, projects, or committees?
This is kind of a fun question because I've had a few conversations with local businesses, from the salons to body shops, a few restaurants, about what we're doing to help the kids get jobs, right? Just in a nutshell. What are we doing so that they feel a little bit more prepared? What if somebody wants to go into cosmetology? What if somebody doesn't want to do something else but wants to go be a mechanic, right? We all know that there's shop class in high school. We all know that they create EMTs in high school. There's so many different things that you can do straight out of there that we can work with our local businesses to get kids to work with them.
Thank you. Let's see, next we have Steve.
Local businesses are not just economic drivers. They are integral to our community's fabric. I advocate for stronger partnerships between the city and the business community to foster a mutually beneficial environment that supports innovation and community growth. Let's invite business leaders to the table through advisory boards and partnerships. We have smart, motivated people in our community. Let's use that to make our colony stronger.
All right, Nikki.
All right, we currently have a few committees and boards right now that are exclusively kind of centered around developers, and so we need some economic development boards that cater to our regular businesses. In addition, we need to expand into our relationship with the chamber. Now that we have a chamber that we actually have, chambers are critical to business growth and development. I actually have been responsible in Baytown for pulling and merging some existing community chamber efforts into our chamber to expand business opportunity, because business owners need to network, they need to know who one another are, and our city needs to facilitate that relationship. There's plenty of opportunities to do that through things that people come to the city to do. But again, the main thing for me as far as business and city collaboration is using and utilizing our chamber and all the opportunities that come with that to build the bridge and to be a conduit to help facilitate those relationships.
Thank you. Okay, I am going to ask all of y'all the same question on this next round. We'll start with table 1, and it is Destiny's turn to go first. We're speaking of future planning. What specific actions would you undertake? I'm sorry, start over. What is your vision for Iowa Colony's future growth, and how would you prepare the city to effectively handle the challenges and opportunities associated with that growth?
Well, I feel that effective communication, assessments, and involvements in our communities assessments and involvement. Communities are made up of individuals from diverse backgrounds, each bringing unique perspectives and insights, and I firmly believe that this enables us to collectively contribute innovative solutions to the challenges and opportunities that arise as our community continues to grow.
Tim.
Yes, I think that some of the challenges that we face are not just the growth. It's the growth and the need for services. It's the growth and the need to figure out how we're going to provide those services without creating an undue tax burden. I've listened and I've heard people say that we don't provide services to our communities. We provide services like police. We provide code enforcement. We provide animal control. These are all things that we actually are doing today. When we talk about looking towards the future, as we work with our developers, as we work with our businesses, as we work with our residents, the key factor is going to be not only communication, but it's also going to be having the experience to know which direction we need to move. That is not going to be a stopgap decision. It's not going to be a stopgap measure, but it's going to be a measure that results in permanency. We're not remodeling sinks. We're actually putting in infrastructure that we're going to have to use for the next 50 years.
Okay, for the mayoral candidates, slight rewording of the question. Douglas, you're going to answer first. What specific actions would you undertake during your mayoral term to prepare Iowa Colony for future population and economic growth?
I sure hope that falls under the future planning question that I filled out, and I like it a lot better when Will answers. We need to look at our building standards and our codes. I believe we need to step them up to build better quality homes, not more homes. We need to take care of the residents we currently have before we get so excited about the residents that we think we want. We need to consider negotiations with our developers to come in and put complete retail packages in, just as Pearland has done, and need to start negotiations and open communications. Pearland would be a good start to get their expertise for our city government. We need to emulate what's working in other cities. We don't need to recreate the wheel. As far as if it's working for other folks, it would work for us.
Same question, Will.
Excellent. I'm happy you asked. Excellent. So as it relates to future planning, that is part of what we're doing right now in Iowa Colony. Later this year, the council, which I hope to be a part of, I need your vote, I need your support in order for that to happen. So again, I'm asking you for your vote and I'm asking you for your support. But later this year, the council is going to undertake the comprehensive plan. That comprehensive plan is a combination of our major thoroughfare plan, our strategic plan, our capital improvement plan. It is the groundwork that lays the foundation for what we, the citizens, want to see happen in our Iowa Colony. That's a 5-year comprehensive plan that's going to be undertaken by the council later this year to project what we want to see in our Iowa Colony going forward. So in addition to that, as we talked about the capital improvement plan, major thoroughfare plan, those are the underpinnings and constructs that lay the groundwork for our future planning in Iowa Colony. Thank you.
All right, table 3, still with future planning. Same question, what is your vision for Iowa Colony's future growth? And how would you prepare the city to effectively handle the challenges and opportunities associated with that growth? Steve?
Thank you. My vision is a balanced one. Balanced growth, ones that respects both new and long-time residents. Let's plan ahead, listen to the people, and grow in a way that keeps our colony a strong, family-centered community. We have a comprehensive plan. We need to implement it. We need clear, measurable goals, set specific targets on economic, educational, and infrastructural improvements. We also need ongoing review. We also need to engage local experts and residents to ensure that the plan reflects our collective values and needs.
Thank you. Nikki?
For me, communication and transparency is key. There need to be multiple pipelines or bridges, if you will, between the city and the citizens, because we are at a pivotal, once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation opportunity to actually be the townsfolk. So what kind of townsfolk are we going to be? Part of my vision is that as we build this city, as we all contribute to the cultural values and the spirit and the energy and the economic development, the growth, the opportunities in this city that we want, that we do it collectively. That is what my vision is, because this city will be what the collective people make it. Not what one person wants, not what someone, a developer and their buddy wants. It will be what the people in general want. Iowa Colony is a special place. It sits right at the corner of suburban life and rural heritage, and so there are aspects of both that deserve to be preserved, that deserve to be heard. So my vision is that whatever is done, it's done collectively.
Matthew?
I've been looking over the city plan here for the past few weeks. It's not very long. There's only a handful of pages. This kind of goes back to what we could do for our city, because online on our website it is unreadable. So we could fix our website and fix some of the stuff we upload on there, side note. But for the actual city plan, right now the city plan shows we're building residential areas pretty much all the way up to 99 down on the southern side of Iowa Colony. It's pretty close. There's a little bit of room down there, but if you're familiar with Spring or really any area that's grown in Houston, you'll know that that time is going to come where 99 is going to be built and those houses are right there. My goal would be to, as Mayor Will just said, I guess we're going ahead and redoing the city plan. That is a very expensive endeavor, typically runs you about $250,000 plus to do that plan. So if we are doing this again, we need to make sure we do it correctly. We need to make sure we include a ton of green space, and we need to make sure that we not only take care of the suburban people, but that the rural area is protected from that big highway as well.
All right, thank you.
For participating with us. My name is Tim Varlak. I've been on City Council for the last 2 years. I've listened to the candidates tonight, and a lot of what they're talking about is a bit shocking to me, because many of the things that they're expressing they want to do are things that we are already doing and want to continue. I could talk about being a vice president of supply chain management. I could talk about my experience doing capital projects, both in the private sector and in the public sector. I could talk about my time in the military as an aviator. What I want to focus in on is my time as a resident in Iowa Colony. And as in my time in Iowa Colony, I've come to realize that we refer to ourselves as rural, but we're really an acreage. We have acreage communities and we have subdivisions. And with each passing day, developers come to Iowa Colony wanting to implement their vision of what they want to do. It's been my pleasure to serve on council and to remind each developer from the dais that our comprehensive plan is what our citizens want Iowa Colony to look like. And so if reelected, I plan on working with the mayor and rest of council to develop our updated comprehensive plan so that whatever Iowa Colony becomes is not my vision for what Iowa Colony wants. I am one person. Whatever we do in Iowa Colony should be what we collectively desire as a community. And that means that we'll need your input as we work through the collective and comprehensive plans. Finally, I want to ask for your vote, but I also want to encourage each and every person who's watching this, whether you're in the city limits or in the ETJ, please don't wait for city council meetings to be heard. Reach out to your city council members. We're listening, and that's when we can make a difference. And so I thank you for your time. My name is Tim Varlack, and I'm asking for your vote.
Destiny?
Well, I didn't come up with anything for the end, but I am a doer. I have always done for my community. I've done for many people in the community. I have been very present in the community. Community service is something that I love to do, and I would love to represent Iowa Colony as our District A council member.
Thank you. Will, closing remarks?
Again, my name is Will Kennedy. It has been my humbling pleasure to serve on the City Council of Iowa Colony since 2021. I've had the good fortune of having your confidence and your support to be elected your mayor in 2023. I'm seeking re-election to continue to grow Iowa Colony forward. So I'm asking you for your vote. I'm asking you for your support. It is my humble desire to continue to serve this community. And whether we are successful in this campaign or not, that service won't stop. My commitment to Iowa Colony's future is ever present. It extends beyond our city of Iowa Colony. It goes out into the extraterritorial jurisdiction. It goes into our neighboring communities. A willingness and a spirit to serve and to collaborate and to build relationships that will serve the city of Iowa Colony is where my heart and my passion are. Be it working with Mayor Davis in Manville, be it working with Commissioner Cade in Precinct 2, be it working with Commissioner Linder in Precinct 4, or with Judge Sylvester, who's over the entire that is Brazoria County. Our legislative delegation, Representative Asut, Representative Barry, Alvin ISD, where most all of our kids are educated, or will be educated if they go to the public schools in our community, collaborating with them, seeing that we can do to develop a workforce for the future, seeing what we can do to support our children in school and out of school, making investments as a council to entertain. That's why we put on the Teen Advisory Council, to be aware and tuned in to what it is our youth want. So I thank you all for putting this opportunity on, and I thank each and every last one of you candidates for putting yourselves out there. Iowa Colony will be better for all of our efforts together, so thank you.
Douglas?
I was on the Charter Committee, which is now the District Committee. We focused very heavily on rural Iowa Colony. And since that was done, we've done nothing for rural Iowa Colony. We talk a lot about doing lots of things. We don't execute. That's a problem for many residents in Iowa Colony. We talk about things that extend over 2 years. Our terms are only 2 years. That makes no sense. You can't guarantee what someone's going to do that replaces you through an election. I think we need to focus on realistic goals that can be done within your term. You can't guarantee what someone else is going to do that replaces you. I think when we talk about what we're going to do, it must be obtainable, and what I've heard is not obtainable. We've been talking about doing ordinances for 3 years. That's 2 terms for some of these folks, and we've not done it. We've made allowances for developers, but not for residents. We had a storm just recently. We had rural Iowa Colony that had to pay to haul off trees. We could have made ordinances, we could have made an emergency change for a short period of time to address these concerns. We did not. To talk about what we're doing at City Hall, we're just talking about what we're doing. We're not executing. I think we've got great ideas at City Hall, but that's all they are. I am result driven. I am focused on results. I would help get us there with results. I'm asking for your vote and I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Matthew?
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I greatly appreciate everybody's time and effort for making it in. Apologies for my brain fart at the very beginning, but thank you for sticking with all of us as we go through this together. I'm proud of everybody that is at all of these tables here and everybody that's in the chairs, because it is time for all of us to step up if we want to make a difference. And these elections, the one that we are currently dealing with and speaking of, are the most important in the country because they affect us the most on a daily basis. From the roads that we drive to the trash that gets blown out of a trash can and goes 3 streets over that hopefully your neighbor picks up. There's all sorts of little things that we can do for each other. That is a real scenario, by the way. A lady outside of Target helped me get my receipt, and she was very kind, so I was very appreciated. But it's important that we build community together, right? Bring your neighbors some muffins. Go talk to each other, right? We need to build this community because it really is one of the last few communities that we can build from scratch in the Houston area. There, again, is nowhere else to go. I look forward to y'all's vote. I hope to have it, and enjoy y'all's evening. Thank you.
Nikki?
Thank you so much. I just want to take time to acknowledge my amazing husband. In June, it will be 26 years. We have 3 wonderful children. That's the love of my life, my bestie. And so, and he is just my number one supporter, makes everything possible for our whole family. And so, but what I want to say is that I am not running for power. I'm not running for clout. I'm running because I truly believe systems need stewardship, and I believe that I can help. I believe the team that we already have there is doing great, and there are things that I can bring to that. I do see where our city council and our city governance has made strides. I've seen the data. I've seen the things that they have done. I'm very familiar with municipality and municipal governance and what it takes to get something done, and I do not take that for granted, and I don't think that our citizens need to take that for granted either. We just need a little bit of communication. We just need to know where we plug in, what we do, what's the bottom line up front, how it impacts us. And those are the things that I would like to bring to this governance and to the council to help improve those things. Over the years, people have come to trust my opinion. It's not because I try to sway people, but it's because I have built a track record of clarity, consistency, and integrity. I don't speak for popularity. I speak when I've done the research. I speak when I understand the impact. I speak when I believe it matters, and I always speak from a place of fact and a place of inclusion. So with that, I'm asking members of the chamber, my fellow neighbors, council members, my neighbors and friends here and foes to please vote for me. Vote for me, give me 1 year to help bring some already additional improvement on to what has already been put in place with the work that everyone has already done. So thank you.
Steve?
Our colony has a bright future, but only if we plan wisely, lead with transparency, and treat every resident with fairness and respect. Whether you live on acreage or in a new subdivision, your voice matters. I bring a track record of service, leadership, and advocacy. I'm not a career politician. I'm just a working class dad who wants to help build a city that works for everyone. If you believe in accountability and honest conversations and in practical solutions, I ask for your vote. I'm Stephen Sanders, Family, Community, Country. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate you coming out, and y'all have a good night.